Welcome to Worthy of Work, the podcast created for all of us who secretly question what is normal in a relationship. My name is Stephanie Rivard, and here we cover the healthy relationship skills no one taught us. It can be noble to help, and in many situations, it is a great decision to step in and serve. But what if, in choosing a partner, that urge is actually misleading and can be a red flag? A desire to step in and be a hero and to help can actually hinder the relationship and almost ensure that you will not get the type of healthy relationship you're desiring. In today's episode, we're going to talk about what I think is the most common hindrance to a healthy relationship, and it is called the savior complex. We're going to discuss what it is, what the root of this is, and what to do about it, some healthy alternatives, so that you can possibly spot if there's any temptations or patterns in your life that are holding you back from finding the partner and a relationship that you really desire. Let's dive in. The savior complex is often depicted by picking a project. Someone who is either less put together than you, who is stuck in a situation that is sad or unfair or unjust, and who has probably a lineage of problems in their life. And the idea is that you, in your helpfulness, in your love, in your patience, can be the single caveat for their change, for their restoration. This might look like helping someone get their feet on their ground, or picking someone who is less put together, maybe less attractive or functional in the world, who's just struggling and trying to lift them up out of that. Maybe they are in an abusive relationship or have a history of abusive relationships. Maybe they are in an employment situation that is difficult. Maybe they just need someone to understand them. Those are the hooks. That is the hook that the savior loves. And it's the opportunity for the savior to sweep in and be heroic and remarkable, to be the knight in shining armor, to be the saint or the savior. For the savior, the root cause often has some presence in low self-worth, low self-esteem, and insecurities. With that as a root, it makes really good sense why the savior wants to earn their place, earn their keep, earn their worth in a relationship. And it pairs so perfectly with the person who struggles, because it gives the person, the savior, who has these deficits, they give them an opportunity to rise above, to present themselves like a worthy mate. This feeds into those character defects and low self-esteem, low self-worth, and insecurities, and it pairs in perfectly, because in the savior will get to earn their worth and hear things like, "Oh, you're so helpful," or "Why are you with me? You can do much better. I don't deserve you." And they believe they can combat that insecurity, and this is subconscious, of course, that insecurity by being praised and held high by someone else, by being the one person who stands by them through the thick and thin, who sees their potential and calls them forward to greatness, who lifts them out of the hole in the life that they're in right now. And what a remarkable way to ensure that this person never leaves you, they will be forever indebted to you, and they will know that you are as good as they can ever have. That insecurity is comforted by being heroic, by being the savior. That mentality right there, that subconscious strategy to build attachment and worth and stability, security in a relationship through picking a project and saving, that right there is unhealthy. And it will guarantee that you will not find and build the kind of healthy relationship you're looking for. It doesn't work because you're not equals. And it's using these defective strategies. And I know this because I've tried it. Your heart is in the right place. It's beautiful to desire to love and to help and to serve and protect, but we are not using it in the right environment. And we're actually using it to build parts of our self-worth that are not there, and we can't use other people in that fashion. And the root here, it's actually an asset turned into a defect. An asset is, for men, the desire to provide and protect. That's beautiful. It's God's design. And for women, it's to nurture and to encourage and care. That's God's design, a feminine genius. But what happens when the savior complex is these assets swing wide into defects, and now they are extended in unhealthy ways, where they are the foundation of their identity and their worth, instead of ways of serving and loving people. So ask yourself, have you been drawn to partners who are kind of struggling in life, who seem to need help, your help? You know that you can love and support them in a wonderful way. Have you picked a partner where, the guy doesn't have a driver's license and you feel compelled to go get groceries and go to his home and cook for him? Let me tell you, sweetheart, that is probably not an asset. That has a bunch of red flags around it. Or to a man, are you drawn to a woman who can't make ends meet, who's struggling, who needs a protector? Well, that innate desire is good, but being drawn to that in a dysfunctional dynamic is unhealthy. What is healthy is when two people who, we're a work in progress. We don't have everything together, but two well-grounded, equally yoked people can use those God-given geniuses to serve each other equally. It's not one person lifting the other up. It's not one person restoring another person to a reasonable state in life. It's as if two people are climbing a mountain. This is what we want in a relationship. Two people are climbing a mountain. And if we're going to do support instead of saving, support would look like both people are hiking up the mountain. And when one person gets tired or discouraged, the other person calls over and says, you got this, we're in it together. But the person who's struggling still has to move their feet. They still have to do something. The savior complex is when one person struggles, they say, hey, climb on my back, I'll carry you up the mountain. Sometimes the person doesn't even want to head to the mountain, but the savior believes that's where they ought to be. So what if you can spot yourself here? Here are a few suggestions. Number one, stop dating immediately. As the saying goes, your picker is broken. So don't keep trying to pick people until it is repaired. So first thing, stop dating. Two, talk to a professional. There's some healing, some self-worth, some identity work that needs to go on to properly align your identity, your self-worth in who you are, not in how you can bail people out of problems. So get some help. There's a book called Soul Care. I found that to be a really good book on identity. But find some resources to start tending to that part of you that questions if a healthy person would want to be with you. Maybe there's a lie there that only someone who's kind of messed up will want to be with me. We need to break those lies and restore and heal that part with the truth. Once you've done that, test it. Go out somewhere, go somewhere public, interact with people and watch. who are you attracted to? Who are you drawn into a conversation with, or even just physically attracted to? Look at them. Are these healthy, balanced people, or are they still the people who need saving? And now, this might all sound really harsh because there are people who need help in circumstances. They are just not the people we date. These are the people that we can rally around, but we don't yoke ourselves to them. We don't build a relationship with them. Why? Because a relationship is not addition. Like if I'm half of a person and you're half of a person, half plus half equals a whole. That's not how this works. A relationship is multiplication. So if I'm half of a person and you're half of a person, it actually is less. It's a quarter. I know multiplying fractions is kind of crazy, but that's how it works. A relationship is like multiplication. So we need to restore ourselves to full capacity or awfully close, and then find another partner who is also the same. Not that project person, not the person who needs lots of help, because half plus half equals a quarter. And if we really want a beautiful, healthy relationship, we must face the facts. We cannot build that with someone who is not healthy. It does not work. Let me say that again. You cannot build a healthy relationship with someone who's not healthy. So look for a person who's self-confident, not arrogant, but who's comfortable in their own skin, who's kind, who has values and a vision for life. They are making strides towards that. That's the kind of partner that you need to start being attracted to. That's kind of this test phase. Someone who has good skills. They're emotionally aware. They're articulate. They're a good communicator. If you want a healthy relationship, you must find the person who has the skills to build it. An analogy I've used once is, and I'm guilty of this. Like I'm totally guilty of this. An analogy I used once is I was trying to build a castle, like a mansion of a relationship. But all I had and my ex had were broken sand castle tools. How on earth could we have built the kind of relationship I had envisioned when we had broken tools? And this is the truth that I had to learn through my divorce and the healing and the learning I did thereafter, that I need the tools. I need to be a full, healthy, balanced, mature human being. And I must expect that from my partner, unless I am fully aware that I'm going to have a difficult relationship. It is not going to be good, and it is likely to end poorly. If that's what you're going for, then just do the same old thing. But if you want a good relationship, watch out for this. Watch out for this and do the work. This is why the podcast exists. Worthy of work. You are worthy of doing the work to restore and repair anything inside you that is struggling and holding you back. True obstacles to having a beautiful, loving relationship, and find the same in a partner. A healthy relationship doesn't involve one person saving another. A healthy relationship are two people who are equipped for the journey and learning on the journey. That's fine. But are equipped and heading in the same direction. They're equals. No one's a project, and the other person's not a project manager. There's no saving. There is support, encouragement, and growth. I heard someone say once that we should date patterns, not potential. And I think that's powerful. Our job is not to build someone up and do the things that they can't do for them. And again, that doesn't mean we are not generous towards others. It means we don't date people like that. But we look for patterns. What are the patterns of this person's character, of their values, of where they spend their money and their time and their energy? What are they reading? What are they growing? What do their friends look like? What are the patterns in their behaviors? Not in their words, in their behaviors. That's how we pick a partner. And the savior complex, that mindset, absolutely hinders the potential to find a healthy relationship. I hope this podcast has brought to light if that mindset is simmering somewhere back in the files and helps you spot it. And maybe it'll encourage you to do the work to release yourself from that mindset and grow in the identity and the dignity of your person. Because a person out there, you are deserving of a beautiful relationship. You are. It doesn't matter what your past was. I don't care how colorful or terrible it was. And that's usually part of the story, isn't it? When we choose a project or someone kind of less than, is we think we actually don't deserve more. And let me be clear. That is a lie. You deserve it. You can find it. You first need to do the work. That's it for today's episode. If this resonates with you, please subscribe, share, or leave a review. It helps more people find this work. And remember, I'm not a therapist. I'm just someone who once thought dysfunction was pretty normal. I wanted better and learned new tools. And so can you.